Patris Lumomba, Africa's first democratically elected leader.
This was Patris Lumomba in June 1960, the premier of the new Congo Republic.
In 1960, Lumumba had been elected leader of the Congo after 52 years of Belgian colonial rule. But it wasn't just Lumumba's nationalist politics that scared the CIA. With Cold War paranoia at its peak, it was his friendship with the Soviets that prompted the secret assassination plot.
We believe that the only way to keep the Cold War out of the Congo.
Lumumba was considered a threat. I think the intelligence was skewed to make him look like a communist, but his nationalism, especially how he wanted the Congo to assume control over the vast natural resources, made a lot of Western countries uncomfortable, particularly the United States.
Larry Devlin was the CIA's field officer living in the Congo capital, Leopoldsville, with his wife and daughter Maureen. Devlin died in 2008, but not before confiding the details of the assassination plot to his daughter.
The first clue my father had about the plot to assassinate Lumumba actually came to him in a message from Washington, a very cryptic message.
The cable from the CIA's head of clandestine operations informed Devlin that a senior officer would be arriving on September the 27th and would identify himself as Joe from Paris. The message told Devlin that Joe would give him an assignment that he must carry out without question. Five days later, Devlin met the man, who he recognized from Washington agency circles. He was Dr. Sidney Gottlieb, the architect of the CIA's mind control program and a brilliant chemist.
Sidney Gottlieb, who was the head of the Technical Services Division at the CIA, had concocted several exotic means to knock off Lumumba without the proverbial bayonet wound to the side or the bullet through the head.
Gottlieb told him that the left-wing Prime Minister, Lumumba, was an enemy of the US, and the CIA had devised a bizarre plot to kill him.
The Sidney Gottlieb told him that he was to assassinate Lumumba, that he, Sidney, had brought a poison for that. It was put in toothpaste, and asked my father if he had anyone who might have access to Patris Lumumba's private quarters.
Gottlieb claimed that the order came from President Eisenhower himself, and it was critical that Lumumba's illegal assassination could not be traced to the US.
My father tried to keep a poker face, didn't want to say anything, but was absolutely shocked because he had never, ever heard of any assassination attempts.
Devlin faced a terrible dilemma: disobey a direct order from the president, an act that could end his career, or carry out an illegal assassination at great personal risk. In The Bourne Identity, assassin Jason Bourne is faced with a terrible dilemma. He's about to kill an African leader when he decides it's wrong and can't continue. It's the same crisis that CIA agent Larry Devlin faced in September 1960, when he received an order to kill the newly elected Prime Minister of the Congo, Patris Lumumba.
Emotionally, he was incredibly disturbed. He did not believe in assassination. He also realized that if by any chance it were to fail not only Americans, but all Europeans, there would be a massacre that would be on his conscience and on the US government conscience.
Devlin was a spy, but he was not an assassin. He accepted the poisoned toothpaste, but he had no intention of ever killing Lumumba.
The plan would have been feasible if he had had access to Lumumba's private areas in the house. In point of fact, he had no one, and he was very happy at that point because that gave him time, and he just kept stalling.
But with America, Belgium, and opposition parties gunning for Lumumba, the Congo's first democratically elected leader was doomed. Lumumba was seized by his enemies, who paraded him before the media. But his torment was only just beginning.
Lumumba was kidnapped. He was taken to a remote location, bayoneted, he was shot, and then his body was dismembered. So it was a pretty grisly assassination.
Lumumba was executed on the 17th of January, 1961. Information in classified documents that emerged in 2002 suggest that the CIA helped the rebels bring about his downfall. The suspicious death of Lumumba sparked furious scenes in the United Nations and made headlines all over the world.
There's a certain sadness in how my father comes out of this, because he really feels that the majority of people have not listened to him. And the majority of people in the press, in Congress, there is always that allegation that he was involved and that it's just being kept a secret.
The Church Committee hearings in 1975 brought the CIA's secret assassination and mind control programs to a halt. But both these sinister activities continue to hold a fascination in political and military circles. Some reports claim that the US military is still researching mind control technology, but little is known about these highly classified programs. One technology believed to be being explored is called transcranial magnetic stimulation and involves targeting different areas of the brain with magnetic fields.
There's published research showing that you can influence somebody's perception, change their mental state, and even implant false memories by manipulating their brain with electromagnetic fields.